join me today. Very quickly, can you tell me about yourself, your career, and how you see your career developing in the next 5 years?
Okay, I'll start with a brief introduction of who I am. I'm going to focus on my career, right? I I am a product manager. I started out. My career path has been really diverse. I started as a business development executive, and that's really weird because I did biochemistry in the university, so it's like a divergence. But
Um,
I started with business development, found my
okay.
way into project management, and then from
Um,
project management, I worked for about a year as an executive assistant. And after that, I founded my company, which is into concierge services. You know, all those companies today that are doing all the surprise proposals, anniversaries. I was the first to do that in Nigeria, so I'm giving myself props here. And then I got an offer from Waka now, and that was my very first time ever hearing about product management. It wasn't a career field that was popular in Nigeria at the time, so I didn't have
yes.
anybody to from, but it sounded like something I really wanted to sink my teeth into because it kind of spoke to my skill sets. And that's how my career in product management started. And almost 8 years later, after starting as a product manager, I'm still here. And so let's say in 5 years,
Oh,
where do I want to see
that's
myself in 5 years? I'm
cool.
very ambitious, so Esther.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone is actually.
I am very ambitious. So in 5 years, I'll say one of the things that move me, that drives me a lot of the time is I want to be able to see a whole lot more people using
Wow.
products that I worked in. I want to see
Wow.
people's lives being bettered by what I have provided for them in terms of the products I have built. And I also want to be a leader in the field. I want to be one of those names
Oh,
that people would always remember. You know how
yeah.
everybody calls Steve Jobs when they
Um,
talk about things like that. I want people to say
yeah.
Theodora Jimenez. I want to put my stamp. I want people to know that I was here. So yeah, in 5 years,
That's
I want to
good.
be the chief product officer for a unicorn company. Unicorn company, emphasis on unicorn company.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah. I look forward to that actually.
thank you.
Okay,
So
you
yeah.
work as a senior product manager at Patricia Technologies.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just give us an overview of your day-to-day responsibilities and what you like about the job?
Okay, so let me see. A quick overview of what my day-to-day activities look like. It varies by day. The beautiful thing about being a product manager is that nothing remains the same. Every day is new, right? So I could go into the office one day, or I mean, or my home office because we work from home these days, and the one thing that's a constant that doesn't change is the fact that I have to do my daily stand-ups with my engineering team. Well, my full team because I have my engineers, my product designer, and whatnot. So I have to have my daily stand-ups with them. But before
Yeah.
then, I always like to have an hour to myself where I'm literally like in a quiet place. I'm able to go through my calendar, through the task. I'm a very methodical person. I have OCD, some people have said. So I like to have clear cut idea of how my day is going to go. And I have this app I use, it's called Clockwise, and it helps you manage your schedules
Okay.
for the day. And you can literally block out time for focus work. So yes, the product managers, we have a lot of meetings, so there are always lots of meetings in that day. I have the time I slot out for research, for documentation. But yeah, it varies day to day.
Okay, based on your experience, we saw that you are very experienced with B2B and B2C development using the Agile framework. So implementing the Agile methodology can be quite a challenge for African tech startups right now. What would be your recommendations for building a world-class agile team for African startups?
So it's a catch 22, right? It's difficult for many African startups to imbibe the agile methodology. And at the same time, I find that a lot of African startups and companies are actually, in some ways, already practicing the agile framework without actually realizing that's what they're doing. And if it
Wow.
came to recommendation that I give African startups, what I'll say is, first up, we need to let go of that mindset that says that's literally like I know it all, and authority supersedes everyone. So if the C levels tell you this is what I want you to do, then you're gonna say, you know what, I know my users want me to do this, but no, the CEO has told me I need to do this. We need to
Yeah.
companies need to have set goals and literally
Okay.
focus on, it's not like a whole I want to push the world to you all at the same time, because it can get overwhelming and then you have people being lost in the process. But with the agile methodology, you're actually able to break your deliverables into little like time box deliverables that you're pushing out to your customer. So it's almost like almost every time your customer is receiving something amazing, they're receiving new features from you, they're receiving things that are going to improve their experience using your product. And that makes sure that ensures you stay top of mind for your customers. So recommendation, try not to do everything at once. Try to break them down
Exactly.
into
Take it.
time boxes. Yes, and allow people to take ownership of their own processes and deliver those. Micromanagement does not work with the agile framework. It doesn't. And you also need to be nimble and fast, because that's one of the key things about being an agile company, right? If changes are happening, let me give you an instance. When the government put the ban on Go-Kada and all the other bikes, right? What did Go-Kada
Yeah.
do? They were so, I'm still so amazed at how quickly they were able to pivot and go into delivery services. And they are still in business. Imagine if they were not able to do that, if they'd not run on the agile framework, they would have probably shut down by now. But that's one of the key things that organizations need to learn. You need to be able to respond to change quickly and not be
Right.
stuck in processes and set times. Go with the flow, be like a river, and you get it.
Thank you very much for that recommendation.
Thank you, Esther.
Yeah, as you know, Africa is a resource-based economy, and that has led to 60% of Africans to be unemployed. What do you think product management can help to change that narrative?
Okay, how do I phrase this? Product management is a lot to do with processes, people, solutions, problems. As a product manager, I am trained to literally focus on problems. I try to find problems. It's like that's literally what I spend 95% of my time doing, finding problems. I need to, okay, what problems are my customers having? What problems are people who are not my customers having that I can solve and make them my customers? And because of that, in Africa, we have a lot of problems. Let's be factual. You don't even need to be a product manager to know that. We have a lot of problems. Now,
Yeah.
how can product management do that? You can actually identify all the problems. You're able to categorize them based on demographic to say, okay, these are the people experiencing this. Is it based on social class? Is it based on race, religion, whatever it is, right? And then you can actually start ideating for solutions that's not just for the people who employ you or just for the government, but you have a key focus, because as a product manager, you're sitting literally at the intersection between the people who have hired you and the people who are going to use
Yeah.
your products, right? So it means that when you're building products, you constantly have at the back of your mind the user experience. You want to be able to solve the problems for your users, and at the same time, you want your employers to be happy. So I think that's one of the great ways that product management can come into play in building Africa up and helping us to reduce. I don't think we can ever fully eradicate the several problems we have in Africa. It's true, but we can reduce it to a very, very reasonable amount and find that fine balance where people are satisfied, people are happy, and we're constantly bringing up good ways, good processes, good products to drive the economy forward.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Let's diverge a little bit. I went through your Instagram and I saw that you were really active during the NSAS
Okay.
protest that happened in October 2020. So, judging by the results, are you encouraged or you're disappointed?
I'm both. I'm
But
both. And I'll explain that. I am encouraged because I can see the fact that a lot of Nigerians, and not just Nigerian youth, a lot of Nigerians are fed up, and a lot of Nigerians are willing to actually put their money where their mouth is. They're ready to put actions behind the things that they say. So that encouraged me because I know that if push comes to shove, we can actually get country that we want, right? And I'll say I'm disappointed because we have an authoritarian government that shoots down its people and suppresses its people. I mean, just yesterday I saw a post where our government wrote a letter to Israel. I'm like, are you guys kidding? You can't try to fix somebody else's problem. Your house is
there
in
you go,
shambles. It makes no
sister.
sense.
Okay.
So am I encouraged or disappointed? I'm both. Both.
Okay.
I'm both.
Yeah,
But we're still
I've
hopeful.
actually learned a
Never lose
lot
hope.
from, I've actually learned a lot from everything that you've been saying. I'm really excited to have you. But before you go, what advice can you give young Africans aspiring to become a product manager?
Okay, so a lot of young people, and not just young, a lot of people today are trying to pivot into product management because it seems to be the
Yes.
it profession. Everybody wants to get a pie in it. But the truth is, it is not beans. Okay, no, beans is difficult to cook. It is not bread and butter. It's tough.
Yes.
It's a tough job. It's a very fulfilling role, but it's also quite a tough role. And if you want to go into product management, one of the first things I tell you have to have is passion. You have to be passionate about a whole lot of things. You have to be passionate about people, the users' experiences. You need to be passionate about the bottom line because you know what? The company is hiring you not just to please the customers, but to bring the profit in. So even if you're not the one selling, you're going to be building the products that will be sold. So you need to be passionate about all that. You need to be passionate about the P&L, the user experience, the industry as a whole. That's one. And secondly, you have to be tenacious. You have to literally be like a dog with a bone. You don't stop. You just keep pushing, keep moving, and you're always going to find stumbling blocks, especially in some of these organizations, many in Nigeria, we don't respond to change, right? And product managers, one of the things we do is we're constantly introducing changes. We're always coming up with new processes that we figure will be able to help us in pushing out products that our users would want. And you're going to have other people within the organization, the relations, sales, marketing, whatever, legal, all the other different units can push back. Now, you need to be tenacious, you need to be passionate, and at the same time, you need to know how to marry everything together and not alienate people, but bring them to your corner, make them become evangelists for you and your product.